The movie opens on a picturesque island resort in the Philippines, where families and friends are gathered for the wedding of Darcy Rivera and Tom Fowler. The setting is lively and celebratory, though tensions quickly begin to surface. Darcy attends a pre-wedding dinner where she meets her mother, Renata, who immediately critiques the wedding's grand scale, calling it overly flashy. Darcy tries to maintain her composure, but is visibly affected by her mother's blunt remarks. Meanwhile, Tom is preparing a romantic surprise for Darcy aboard a motorboat. However, the plan goes awry when a security guard unintentionally startles him, causing Tom to fall into the water. The mishap leaves him drenched and embarrassed, setting an awkward tone for the evening. As the dinner continues, more guests arrive, adding to the tension. Tom's mother, Carol, makes her entrance with her second husband, Larry, whose cheerful demeanor contrasts with the charged atmosphere. Darcy's father, Robert, arrives with his much younger girlfriend, Harriet, which immediately irritates Renata, who still harbors resentment from their divorce. The strained dynamic between Darcy's parents is palpable, as they exchange veiled insults and cold stares throughout the evening. Darcy and Tom try to spend time together, but interruptions abound. Tom's best man, Ricky, pulls him away, leaving Darcy chatting with her sister, Jamie. Things get more awkward with the arrival of Darcy's ex-boyfriend, Sean, invited by Robert. Sean's use of Darcy's old nickname, DD, and his confident demeanor make Tom visibly jealous and uncomfortable. At dinner, Tom's reserved speech falls flat, only to be overshadowed by Sean's nostalgic toast, which captivates the audience. The tension escalates when Tom's sister, Jeannie, delivers an unexpected speech about her marital struggles, leaving everyone at the table uneasy. Later, Darcy and Tom retreat to their room for privacy, but Carol barges in with unsolicited advice, worsening their stress. Frustrated and exhausted, the couple decides to sleep in separate rooms, their doubts about the wedding quietly growing. The next morning, the wedding day begins with bustling preparations at the picturesque resort. Unbeknownst to everyone, a group of pirates is heading to the island, having targeted the event after finding the couple's wedding website. In her suite, Darcy, assisted by Renata, Jamie, and Carol, feels uneasy despite the excitement. She texts Tom, and they meet privately. Darcy admits the grand wedding in the Philippines was a mistake, leading to an argument about their priorities. They agree to call off the wedding just as pirates storm the resort and take everyone hostage. From his vantage point, Tom witnesses the pirates' chaotic entrance. He runs to warn Darcy, who is still in her room. Meanwhile, the pirates round up everyone and force them into the pool area. Their leader demands a $45 million ransom from Robert, fully aware of his immense wealth. The air is thick with fear and uncertainty as the guests and staff are left helpless. Tom reaches Darcy and hurriedly explains what's happening. As they process the gravity of the situation, they spot an armed pirate attempting to break into the room. Tom and Darcy frantically devise a plan to trap him. Tom suggests using a net, while Darcy insists they should spray the pirate's eyes with hairspray. Their bickering costs them precious time, and they both end up overpowered, tied up, and captured. The pirates march the couple toward their leader, but Darcy, ever resourceful, asks for a cigarette. Using the lighter, she sets the pirates' heads ablaze, creating enough of a distraction to make an escape. The couple scrambles to take control of the now driverless cart they were being transported in. While they successfully jump out, Darcy's wedding dress becomes tangled, tearing dramatically as the cart tumbles over a cliff. Before they can catch their breath, they are ambushed by another pirate. Darcy quickly snatches a grenade from his hand and Tom, in a desperate move, kicks the pirate against a rock, killing him. Tom is visibly shaken, horrified at the reality of having taken a life, even in self-defense. Darcy tries to focus on survival, clutching the live grenade tightly as they figure out their next steps. Bound together and still clutching the grenade, they look for ways to free themselves. Tom warns Darcy about the danger of dropping the grenade, as it could go off at any moment. Their next goal is to find cell reception to call for help, but their efforts are thwarted when they are spotted and pursued by more pirates. In the chaos, Darcy drops the phone, leaving them without a lifeline. The couple stumbles upon a zipline tower and quickly descends to escape their pursuers. In a moment of quick thinking, Darcy drops the grenade onto two pirates below, taking them out but simultaneously alerting the others to their location. Upon landing, they are horrified to see their friends and family still being held hostage. As the pirates regroup, Darcy and Tom are left scrambling to come up with a plan to rescue their loved ones and call for help before it's too late. Darcy and Tom sneak into the resort's kitchen, desperately searching for a way to cut their bindings. They find a deli slicer and, after some effort, manage to free themselves. However, Tom accidentally slices his hand in the process, causing blood to gush. The sight of it overwhelms Darcy, and she faints. Before Tom can properly react, a female pirate bursts into the kitchen, ready to attack. Tom engages her in a brutal fight, culminating in him smashing her through a glass window, leaving her unconscious. When Darcy regains consciousness, she quickly assesses the situation. Determined to no longer be a passive participant, she improvises. She cuts her torn wedding dress shorter for better mobility and swaps her heels for boots, gearing up to actively help Tom rescue their loved ones. The couple makes their way to the resort's main office, hoping to use its internet to call for help. To their dismay, the connection is down. The resort's owners, Margie Selena Tan and Ace Alberto Isaac, discover them and decide to help, hiding them in a secret bunker. While tending to Tom's wound, Margie lets slip that pirates had attacked the resort during the previous summer. Darcy is furious upon realizing that Tom already knew this but chose to book the wedding there anyway. Their frustration boils over into an argument. Darcy accuses Tom of self-sabotaging and giving in to his insecurities, which she believes are the reason he pushed for such an extravagant wedding. Tom retorts that Darcy isn't as self-assured as she pretends to be, arguing that she's just as scared as he is. Despite their differences, Tom shoulders responsibility for the hostages, admitting that his choices led to everyone being put in harm's way. Their argument is cut short when another pirate gets close to the bunker. Ace and Margie usher the couple into a hidden tunnel to escape. However, Tom decides to take matters into his own hands. He emerges from the tunnel and deliberately surrenders himself to the pirates, ensuring Darcy remains hidden and safe. Tom is brought to the other hostages, where he seizes the opportunity to confront the lead pirate. He utters a phrase in Balinese, "paw," which grabs everyone's attention. The phrase triggers an important revelation. Tom accuses Sean, Darcy's ex-boyfriend, of being behind the attack. Tom explains that Sean had said the same phrase earlier, cluing him in that the pirates are Balinese. Producing a wedding invitation found with the pirates, Tom further deduces that Sean hired them in a plot to demand ransom from Robert, hoping to settle a personal vendetta over being denied investment money. Sean, now cornered, finally drops the pretense. He escapes the hostage group, revealing himself to be fully aligned with the pirates. Grabbing a gun, Sean turns on Tom, shifting the balance of power yet again. Darcy begins to feel remorseful while hiding with Ace and Margie. Her earlier argument with Tom weighs heavily on her, and Margie encourages her to take charge and rescue everyone herself. Determined to make things right, Darcy arms herself and sets out to face the pirates. Meanwhile, Sean and the lead pirate formulate a plan to find Darcy. They take Harriet as collateral and head off in Sean's helicopter. Sean's betrayal deepens as the true extent of his involvement in the scheme becomes clear. Darcy arrives at the pirates' base, armed with a gun, and manages to reach Tom. Before taking on the pirates, she tries to reconcile with him. However, the pirates quickly capture Darcy and place her with the other hostages. One pirate, still furious about the burns Darcy inflicted earlier, takes a personal vendetta against her and threatens her life. As tensions escalate, a shocking revelation comes to light. Harriet was in on the scheme all along. The truth is revealed when Larry, ever the opportunist, reviews footage he recorded of Harriet and Sean kissing, exposing their collusion. Back in the helicopter, Harriet reveals her ruthlessness. She kills the lead pirate by striking a pressure point that paralyzes him, then throws his body out of the helicopter to eliminate him as a liability. At the resort, Darcy and Tom hatch a daring plan. They propose an impromptu wedding ceremony in the pool, and the pirates, amused by the idea, allow it to proceed. During the ceremony, Carol leads the hostages in singing "I'll Be Creating a Distraction." Seizing the moment, Darcy and Tom spring into action. Carol, showing her grit, grabs a rifle and joins the fight. Chaos erupts as the couple uses a grenade to eliminate several pirates, the explosion simultaneously setting off a round of fireworks that alert Sean and Harriet. With Ace and Margie helping the guests escape to safety, Darcy and Tom focus on stopping Sean and Harriet. They make it to the docks, where they confront and subdue a young pirate before attempting to escape on the motorboat Tom had prepared as a wedding surprise. Their escape is interrupted when Sean arrives, trying to manipulate Darcy into joining him. Darcy, standing firm, refuses and sides with Tom. The couple hops into the boat, but Sean clings to it in pursuit. From the air, Harriet attempts to shoot at them from the helicopter, adding to the chaos. As Darcy accelerates the boat, Tom and Sean get tangled in a parasail that launches them into the air. Thinking quickly, Tom uses a chunk of fake hair to zipline down, while Darcy, armed with a cake knife Carol had given her, cuts the parasail loose. Sean is sent spiraling into the helicopter's blades, meeting a gruesome end. Harriet loses control of the helicopter, which crashes into the ocean, taking her down with it. Darcy and Tom return triumphantly to the island, where they finally reconcile. With the pirates defeated, they decide to proceed with their wedding. Authorities arrive to arrest the surviving pirates, bringing the ordeal to an end. The wedding proceeds at last, with joy and relief filling the air. As Darcy and Tom share their vows, Jamie and Ricky, who have been secretly hooking up throughout the chaos, accidentally set off one final firework, closing the adventure with an unplanned but celebratory bang.